We begin this morning with First newspaper here in Nigeria. And on the front page of the First News, of course, everyone's talking about elections. And we see the big story there this morning that says 2023, 95 million voters to elect Nigeria's next president, according to INEC, says they'll cast their votes in 176,846 polling units across the country. 18 political parties to sponsor 12,163 candidates in 1,491 constituencies. And the INEC boss, of course, expresses concern over insecurity in Northwest and Southeast. Alleged 7.9 billion naira fraud, Malemi approves Senator Odwa's trial. Gubernatorial primary, court dismisses 3 cases against APC Abiodun. Large crowd as Kwankwaso opens NNPP campaign office in Lagos, causes gridlock on roads. Reps to CBN, suspend sale of Polaris Bank. Buhari swears Justice Ariwola in as substantive CJN. Zamfara government reopens 45 schools as security improves. 2 women killed as human sacrifice in India. Whoa. 2023 COP CSOs allege fresh plot to sack INEC chairman, raise the alarm over moves to stop commission from transmitting results electronically, and PDP suspends campaign over article Wike Rift, replies Tinubu's party of termites comment, says, "You are dazed by our successful campaign inauguration." Wike appoints another 28,000 political assistants. 2 more stories and it's a wrap on the front page of First News. Labour Party, Peter Obi on collision cause over campaign council as Okupe unveils 1,234 member council. Obi, running mate, absent from event. Of course, we know that he did mention that he was attending the event by ICANN. 2023 appropriation bill, 20.5 trillion naira passes second reading in National Assembly. That's all we can take this morning on the First News.
All right, still here in Nigeria. Let's see what the Nigerian News Direct, has for us. It says here, 2022 priority projects. FEC approves 16.3 billion naira for aviation security procurement. As council mouths local assembling, manufacturing of heavy-duty firefighter aviation trucks. And also OAU Teaching Hospital gets 592 million naira approval for procurement of MRI diagnostic machine. That's on page 23. Lagos 2023, Sanwo-Olu kicks off campaign at Ehigbeti Summit. I'm really hoping I pronounced that right. Oh, I did. Says some opponents are noise makers. Also, Senate passes 66 billion naira 2022 police trust fund budget. Customs strike force intercepts 3,525 liters of PMS, pump action rifle and others worth 390.2 million naira. And also top of the screen, Obajana, we must separate acquisition from asset grabbing. And that's, of course, in the tussle between the Kogi state government and Dangote, the company right there. Right, those are the stories of Nigerian News Direct this morning.
All right, let's head over to Namibia this morning. Not a very busy headline. I'll save the best for last. I'll start with the top of the paper. Namib meals price hikes to have devastating impact on the poor. A global recession could occur in 2023, according to the IMF. I think it's something that many parts of the continent, or the country, or the world at large, are pretty much concerned about. More parts of murdered Caribbean boy found. We can see the photography of Rita Sabes in the center with her son, Adrian, and his younger sister, Lloyd. Very sad story there. Environment consultant cuts ties with Russian uranium explorer. Irreconcilable differences cited for withdrawal from Stampriet project. Now, the final story, which is the best that I saved for last. Push to celebrate virginity. Traditional authorities urged to revive pre-Christianity cultural values. They say, and I quote, "When a girl reaches sexual maturity, she's expected to be taught the importance of her virginity." And the APP MP says that the virginity festivals would, 1, focus on sex education, 2, combat unwanted pregnancies, and 3, curb HIV infection. What do you think about this story, Salge?
It brings me back to, the part where there's loads of conversations, about things like this, but they seem to be always female focused.
Thank you very much
And
for saying my mind.
We don't get to hear about
Because
these same things concerning the the male folk across the continent.
Because
and
primarily, she's not disvirgining herself. She's not
Yeah.
sleeping with herself.
Yeah.
There's some other boy somewhere that's sleeping with her. Are we paying as much attention to the perpetrators? I won't say perpetrators, but like to the where do you have that look? To her fellow participants as we are placing on the woman. Yes, the woman would suffer the dire consequences, for example, carrying the pregnancy, and women are more susceptible, unfortunately, to contracting some of these infections than the men are because of maybe how the female body is wired. So maybe that's why, but as much pressure as we're putting on the girls, we should also put that on the boys. Boys can also keep their virginity, even though there's no
I agree.
scientific proof for a man's virginity.
Well, I agree. All right, let's go to Kenya this morning and see what's on the Daily Nation. Top of the screen there, it says, court slams brakes on Ruto plan to hire CASs. Job that would have led to a bloated executive halted on the day PSC called applications. That's on page 12. MPs mad scramble to sit in lucrative House teams. And it says almost 200 MPs, more than half of the 349-member House, want to sit in the Budget and Transport Committees on page 4. Also, Gachagau's good news for teachers on transfer policy. And Travis died because I'm poor, a mother's agony and a child's slow, painful death. It's a really sad story there. But you could read more of it on the Daily Nation
Wait,
this
is that
morning.
the mother and the child there? That mother is looking like a teenage mom.
Well,
Oh dear.
Justice LSK wants judiciary to compel DPP to give reasons for withdrawals, and that's on the story Off the Hook. DPP Nordin Haji has dropped criminal charges against Ruto allied top politicians and former government officials, some of whom are eyeing plum cabinet jobs, raising questions about the independence of his office. That's on page 7. All right, those are the stories on the Daily Nation this morning, and the stories that we can share, in the first half of Breakfast Central. We have more newspapers coming your way in the second half, but of course, remember, you can tweet at us at News Central TV and share your thoughts on any of these stories at any time during the show.